Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucking gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Hello world, I am what-ifs, and today we are doing What If Deku Was a Monster Hunter, sort of a Monster Hunter trainer version. So today we'll be doing that. So we'll start out in the olden times, caveman times, before Christ times. Times where monsters roamed the land and ethereal powers were found everywhere. On this singular island, however, were there monsters that were unimaginable, crazy beyond belief. Ones that monster hunters had to keep in check, and each side using quirks to their advantage to try to take down the other. Crazy monsters arose and destroyed, while humanity started building civilizations, and had built ships by this time, and made weapons and armor to help support their hunters. And now one of these hunters, named Deku, he was a sort of handler of the time, one of the most professional. And he continues on this professional streak, being one of the best, studying each monster and knowing their greatest weaknesses and strengths. However, he does feel bad for killing the monsters. Now, there's one technique that I have not mentioned, a sort of thing that allows the hunters to communicate to their cats and dogs. Some cases dogs. Mostly cats. And basically, this allows them to talk to basically any animal that they are connected to. And these sort of quirks that they have naturally gained from having, from necessity of working with cats, allows the cats to gain sort of a superhuman level of intelligence. We'll go on that road a little bit later. Right now, he's on his quest with a party, and they suddenly get attacked by, I would say, a Nargacuga. Taking down a lot of them, and it 1v1, it challenges him sort of, and secludes him from the rest of the group. Now he defeats the Nargacuga in a sort of underhanded way, which he feels kind of bad. As he looks at it in his eyes before it dies, he can hear its thoughts. It's sort of talking to him, a sort of a way of it showing its emotions, actually connecting to him for like a second, for it to just say that like you're a dick and then die. So once he figures out that he has this amazing power to talk to them, he starts, he hires one of the monster hunters to take an egg from one of the monsters. He takes out a Rathalos egg this time. He's given a Rathalos egg, which he had to pay highly for. However, he raises this Rathalos by himself. Now it lives with him. And he starts to teach it little tricks and stuff and neat, really cool stuff. However, when he starts to go out on missions himself, gathering eggs for himself, he gathers quite a lot of monsters with him. Now he starts to get much better at talking with them, and actually feels like sort of a dino mother of some sort, because he houses all these little chicklings of monsters. And one of them grows to an excruciating size, a Nargacuga, in fact. A Nargacuga and an Odagon. Now there is an Odagon that he tames in the wild, one that is already mature and has had kids, and actually allowed him to take one. One that he knows well enough for that to happen. Now he actually trusts him enough for him to get on the top of it, allowing him to ride it. This bond is only seen a few times, and it's crazy to the rest of the hunters how it's so passive against the rest of the hunters. However, it won't go into actual civilization, because that freaks it the fuck out. And also people might just spear it anyways. So yeah, that's basically that. And on one of their, when he actually bonds with it quite a lot, one day when he's riding on the back of it and hunting down a Legiana that recently had shot a hole through their defenses on the original base, suddenly the Legiana leads them up to a certain height, and then breaks a barrier that was holding a bunch of water, throwing them all downstream, throwing both Odagon and him down a stream that led them all the way down to the Arctic, freezing them in this sort of ice time machine. Once they're on Earth, years later, they wake up. he wakes up on top of the Odogon, entombed in ice. Odogons have a natural thing where they pulsate heat from their chest once they get their heart rate enough, allowing them to vent out all of their steam, allowing them to just go on forever. However, this time he gets an idea. He starts petting the Odogon while he's entombed in ice in a sort of storage facility, in some sort of storage facility, which he has no clue where he is. He's covered in like a drape and stuff. He's recently found by a museum and given as sort of a prize, I guess. He starts petting the backside of the Odogon as it wakes up, and its heart rate starts going up, starting to heat the rest of it, and eventually getting rid of all the ice around them. As he tries to calm down the Odogon, as basically they're in this new timeline and everything, they suddenly freeze as they can hear guards coming around the corner. Odogon is starting to hyperventilate and starts to get wild as Deku calms it down. And calms it down with a slight pat on its back, while all the sort of dragons that he has in his sort of backpack start to get a little bit rustle around because they're starting to get back to life. As Deku sneaks all of them steadily out of the sort of container area, leaving out into this museum full of people talking a language he barely even knows or barely can even understand. Nevertheless, talk to one of them. So he steadily gets them out of there, where they exit to a metropolis, the place that you see in the original anime, the town, the gigantic city, and they're just astonished by it. Both the Odogon and him, where the Odogon is almost 2 times his size. However, is very good at hiding in sort of back alleys and stuff like that. And surprised by this, he forgets that his backpack is full of dragons. One slightly little fella, the Nargacuga, the baby that he was raising, kind of crawls out of the bag, running out onto the street, which causes a whole chase scene. You don't need to see it. Basically, animal people that capture wild animals capture this little Nargacuga and bring him to an animal care center, where Deku has to finally finds it after finding his way around the city, kind of trying to learn about the English language, trying to learn it from people, which is really scary, and a lot of people just kind of brush him off. Until he finally finds the animal care sector, which he can finally see from down the road. He goes in and seeing all these, palcos what he could call palcos, as they finally learned that that's what he was talking about. He sees the Nargacuga in the back, asking about it. Koji, the sort of animal guy, that's where he works during the day. The very shy guy says that you can't go back there, but he goes anyways. Whispering the Nargacuga's name, which you can name it, I don't care, to come to him as it dashes over to him from using shadows, onto his arm, and then hopping onto his shoulder. As he shortly says goodbye and tries to leave out the door, Koji says, we're offering services of cats and stuff, and how to feed the stuff that's on your shoulder, and also is that a gigantic dog outside? So basically, he gets to know Koji by searching around for a palco, and he's like, palco means cat, right? And he's like, yeah, palco, cat, yes. And he starts learning the English language from Koji, and Koji just thinks he's foreign or something. All those monsters on his shoulder are part of his quirk, which he'd be slightly correct. So basically, after this, Koji mentions that he's going to the college, to the My Hero College, and Deku is like, I don't have anything else better to do. I honestly, all I want to do is help other people from not taking advantage of the cats that he's been learning to know all this time. And he's very emotional about animals and stuff like that. Personal preference for him. Now, Koji, they learn of a power of Koji's, actually, that Koji can sort of level up, if you may, the monsters that he has. So basically, whenever, instead of calling like all the things. If he whispers into like one of his monster's ears, he can sort of make them grow up a little bit. So the Nargacuga can become not a baby but an adolescent, which is still massive because it's like as big as Deku, but not very threatening. Not until you actually fight it. But yes, that's part of the whole entire thing. I think I'll leave it off there now. Thank you so much, world, for watching this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Genie grind, I wish I'm getting rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucker gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up and hit him up for that one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,